welcome to another AtWork Advocacy Update. It is now my favorite time of year. The legislature is convening for a quick 60-day session starting today, January 8th. We have a lot of work to do to advocate for the second half of our rate increase for employment and day programs that was recommended by the state's own rate study in 2022. Today, I've asked the Executive Director of the Community Employment Alliance, Aaron Dickson, to join us as a guest.
Thanks, John. So I just wanted to come and talk a little bit about what John mentioned about our rate study. So first, I'm just going to start with why this is important, that people with disabilities deserve the right to have a job and to have a job coach that is consistent, that isn't, a new person every 2 months. And, they deserve to have a provider that, isn't forced to shut down. So, these are the reasons why this rate increase is important. And so just a little bit of background, there hadn't been a rate increase since 2011 until last year. So that is 12 years. And things are a lot more expensive now than they were in 2011. They've gone up a lot in just the last few years. And so in 2022, the legislature asked for a rate study to determine how much the rate should be for providers of supported employment. And that rate study came out a little over a year ago, and last session, the legislature decided to partially fund the rate study, but not fully fund the rate study at the level that the rate study says is to maintain services, not even to expand them, but just to maintain them. And so we are back this year to ask the legislature to fully fund the rate study so that people with disabilities can have the support that they deserve to have jobs out in the community.
Thanks, Aaron. There's also some talk around adult day help being a service provided for DDA. House Bill 2080 would direct DDA to submit a waiver amendment to the Centers for Medicaid Medicare Services to include adult day help within the waiver. What is CA stance on this issue?
Yes, good question. So we are still in the kind of learning more about that bill phase. It did just drop, but what we can say at this point is that we are strongly committed to the idea that people with disabilities have the right to be out in the community, to live full lives, out in the community, and that that is a civil rights issue. And so we are committed to having the conversations around adult day services to make sure that, if something does move forward, that we are advocating for it to be person-centered, for it to be in the community, and for it to not be segregated away from everyone else in society. We do believe that folks with disabilities have the right to, interact with everyone in society, and that also that everyone else in society has the right to have people with disabilities in their lives too. It goes both ways, I think. So we are still, again, looking into the specifics of this bill and kind of what that is going to look like. We are trying to, do our research to understand kind of that aspect of the system as best we can. So more to come, but that's, I think, kind of the foundation of, how we're going to show up in this conversation is that, we are very committed to the rights of people with disabilities and, again, making sure that people have the right to be in the community.
Absolutely, thank you. Definitely want to make sure that if this service is put into the waiver, that it is person-centered and the programming is being led by self-advocates' interests. So that's all the time we have for today. On the closing credits, you will find a QR code to sign up for our AtWork advocacy alerts. This is the best way you can help us during session. It takes a few minutes to sign up, and you can respond to our alerts with just a few mouse clicks.